Welcome back to the Real O Show podcast. Today we have on Demetrius Sims, AAA baseball player for the Miami Marlins. Me and Meech actually go way back to childhood, but we did play together while we were at the Marlins. But we talk about just pro athlete life, the grind of minor league baseball. Meech is going into year 7. Plus, we also get into a little bit of the politics of professional sports. But before we get into the show, drop us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe, and please share with others. And feel free to tweet at me, Zachary Owings, too. Enjoy. Meech, thank you for coming on, as always. We kind of essentially go way back a little bit to the childhood, and we finally really got to get to know each other once we were both in the Marlins system, between AAA and AA at the moment. But I really want you to talk about what pro athlete life is like and what goes into it.
I would say it's a grind. I mean, you're playing in the middle of nowhere city, at one point, and you don't know where you're going to get your next meal. You don't know what it would be. You might have PB&J for pregame, and then whatever, after the game. But it's a grind, bro. I think it's definitely something that, you got to know what you're getting into. Yeah. Because if you don't, it can eat you alive.
You got to love it.
You have to love it, bro. You can't fake it.
Sure,
you cannot fake it.
That's one thing that I've realized, the deeper you go into sports, you have to love sports because, people think that, when they see professional athletes, they're like, oh, those rich motherfuckers, they made it or they get this big contract. And it's bro, that dude worked his whole life to get that one payday, and guess what? It could be all taken from him. Or how many guys worked their whole life, just got there, got hurt, something happened. Right. It's bro, no one understands the actual grind that goes into it. People see the games, they're like, oh, look at that, the cheering fans, but they don't see all the work, all the off season, all the rehab, everything. It's kind of gnarly to go down that.
So, what goes into your off season program? What do you try to focus on? Are you doing it every day? Do you take time away from baseball? Because that was my biggest thing when I was playing baseball, is I had to take time away from the game. Don't even want to look at a baseball, no glove, no bat, because baseball is the hardest sport to play. It is the hardest sport to play.
Facts.
You fail the most.
Facts.
It's so mentally draining. So kind of talk about your off-season progress, how much time you take off, and then when you kind of get back into it to work up to spring training.
I usually take a little over a month off of just doing no lifting, no baseball, and just chilling, just literally in the couch, chilling, playing the game. And then I'll start to ramp it up maybe after probably a month and a half. Just start to ramp it up, just do some running stuff, no heavy lifting, just light, maybe band stuff, just to see where the body's at. Mm-hmm. I don't usually get into my baseball specific training until maybe mid-October. So I'll go to a local gym, and I'll just do the basic stock lift, bench, just to try to get some muscle going, a solid base, and then I'll start going to my baseball specifics. So I'll say mid-October, and then through there, we usually go through 3 phases. So we'll start off with let's say it's core focus. I need to get my core strength going. So we'll focus on that for the first month, and then we'll transition to arm strength. Just something, something specific, and then at the end it'll all kind of come together and stuff. So
weird question, because I know my answer to it. Do you like off-season training more, or do you actually playing the games? What do you enjoy? I loved off-season training, working out, baseball, really getting to work on your craft, more than the actual game.
Okay. So I'm a little different. I'm a little different.
I thought everybody always thought it was crazy. The game. I'm bro, games aren't that cool, bro. That's how I thought. If you went 4 for 4, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt. I think, games didn't start becoming cool until I got to AAA. To be honest,
That's
like it's just it's a completely different vibe because it's like
because you're a step.
You're like right there and you're playing with guys who have been in the big. So like they just like the day is just so much more chill, bro. Right. Like it's not like guys watching. You gotta do this, that. It's just like you get to the field like. And you just chilling, do whatever you need to do to get ready for the game. You
already proved it,
right?
What's the difference between AAA and AA? Like, how big of a jump is it? Like, what's the difference?
I wouldn't say it's too big of a jump. You're just one level. You're playing with like big leaguers who have are established for the most part, and then you're playing with a bunch of like prospects in AA. You know, so it's like a different like guys are like hungry, like they're trying to get there, and then AAA guys are I got to work on this one pitch, or like I got to work on, how to catch the ball out front or hit it to left more. Just like one specific thing that they're working on that's, not allowing them to be in the big. So
how did you adapt to minor league life? Like going back to like your like from college, like starting with your rookie season, like how hard was it to adapt? Was it an easy transition? Like I want to know, like, cause like for me, minor league life, like it's hard. It's hard. You're playing every day. You're playing in butt fuck nowhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like for me, like being on the bubble guy, it's like it's really iffy.
Yeah,
it's really iffy.
Yeah.
So like just talk about your like how you adapted that over time. Because you're going into what, your seventh year?
Yep, 7th year. So when I initially got to pro ball, I had no idea that there was rookie ball, like the chain link. I didn't know we actually played the game. I just thought that was for spring training only. Yeah. I didn't know that there was games there. So when I got there, I got to rookie ball and we were like, we're playing games. We were also practicing before the game. And I'm like, bro.
In 120 degree
like, bro, I was like, this is crazy. And it's not like just like lollygag. Like we're doing we're working, bro. Like we're like literally trying to get better before the game. So I had no idea.
120 degrees outside.
Hot as heck, bro. I had no idea. So that was a slap in the face. Like I thought like, okay, like, I made to professional baseball. I've been playing like these sweet, like, stadiums. Like, there's going to be fans. There's going to be a different vibe, Yeah. But it kind of was like, damn, I'm going back to, like, high school lall. It felt like, literally felt like I was playing at Ann Arbor Huron.
Because there's no fans.
No fans, just fenced. Like, some of the fields might have a backdrop or, like the, how like
hitter's eye?
Hitter's eye, yeah. Some, just depending on where you're playing.
What's hitter's eye for the people that don't?
Hitter's eye is like goes behind the pitcher, so like the ball doesn't blend into the background, so you can actually see the ball.
I know what you're talking about.
Because like you can play like Oakland University, like think in Michigan, like they have a big white bubble in the back, and like the pitcher's like it blind, like you can't see the ball, so hitter's eye.
Bro, baseball is the craziest sport to me, like professionally, because like I play professional hockey and it's like they treat you so fucking good. Like Zachary come to my games. I played AA, and it's like, bro, Zach come to my games. Like, bro, there's 11,000 people in our
sold out arenas.
Like AA, like minor league hockey.
It's ECHL. ECHL. It's AA.
We're getting 11,000 fans. We're getting treated right. Like we got sleeper buses. Like we got and it's different. Like
they're privately owned and they're not owned by an NHL team, so that's why they get treated. Whereas like the Marlins are paying for everything, so they're like, who gives a fuck about a low A baseball team?
I was playing a team called the Fort Wayne Comets, but they were in the Las Vegas Knights organization. But they basically just sign a contract saying like, hey, if we get a guy that you like on our team, you can easily just drop him up and down. But like on hockey, I'm in the Las Vegas Knights organization. Say the fucking Detroit Red Wings are like, yo, I want to sign him. They can easily just sign him. They can't do anything about it.
Oh, that's sweet.
Unless you have
an
NHL
player, right? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty dope.
Unless you have an NHL contract, that like makes you stay in the organization, then you can do whatever you want. Right. But most guys, like for baseball, it's like what? How many years you have to like 7 years?
7 years.
You got to get to 7.
In hockey, as soon as you get drafted, so say you get drafted and you're like, fuck it, I'm going to still play like junior hockey or college hockey, your 3 years starts ticking already. So if they don't sign you after that 3rd year, even if you never played at all, your rights are on and you go wherever you want.
Really?
And it's like you're getting paid. Like I was laughing because like my rookie contract was making more money than like he was making the whole month, and I was making like weekly.
Yeah.
And it's like we're getting our own.
So y'all are getting decent money.
Yeah, and
they don't get signing. They don't get signing
bonuses.
though.
Okay.
But like they're
That's
getting
the
like you're
difference.
getting housing. You're getting shit paid for. But like I mean, guys on my team,
minor league baseball is now doing
I
that.
mean, bro, there was guys on my team that are AA. They're ECHL. Like they're fucking making $2,500 a week almost, like a week to play hockey. Yeah. And then some guys.
And you're not playing every day, right?
No, you're playing 3 games a week maybe.
Wow.
And then it's like on top of all that, like bro, some of the guys they'd house hack. They'd buy a house and make the team pay them for their house, and they'd like house like one guy, like one of their boys with them, and the team would pay them what the market value would be. So these guys are making money.
Wow.
House hacking down there. It's crazy.
That's impressive.
It's
crazy.
It's a super good atmosphere.
That's definitely different.
But it is different because like you got like 30-year-old guys trying to fucking fight you every night. And you're like getting your face punched in for like $1,000 a week. You're like, all right, bro, this is I'm not trying to join the UFC for fucking $12,000 a year now. But
I feel that.
Yeah, but you like going back to like the adaptation. You kind of talked about rookie ball, which I played rookie ball, so I knew exactly what you're saying. I feel all that pain.
Yeah.
So from your rookie ball year on, like how has that adaptation like come? Has it gotten easier? Have you kind of just like accepted it, or is like every year kind of still that grind of the travel and sleeping in hotels every night?
So I don't mind that. That's like the one. That's like the one part of. So I honestly would say that I like being in season more than the off season.
Yeah.
I like being, like in season, you kind of have like a routine, like you have a set, I'm waking up at this time, got to be at the field, by this time. So it's like, it puts you in like a good rhythm and stuff. Once you get to like a certain point, it's just like, it's little things you got to work on, right? Like,
For sure.
It's a huge jump from rookie ball to, AAA, right? Like, like I said, like when you get to like AAA and like you've seen like the AA level, like AAA, like and AA are like far off, bro.
Yeah.
Like when I say like how like the hospitality, like just how like it,
like how you get treated,
like the stadiums, like it's different, bro. Like it's completely different. Like you're not carrying anything into the locker room. Like there's people who carry the stuff for you, and I know that might not sound like a big deal, but like. It's
a big deal.
Crazy. I mean, it's just like, dang, like you're flying, you're flying to games, or you got to dress up. Like it's literally like preparing you, for the next step. So
next step, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like it's a slow, transition, but like once you hit double, it's huge. Like it's like night and day. So I don't think anything from rookie ball to even AA can prepare you for like AAA. Like
you got to be in it.
You gotta be in it. Yeah, it's just different, bro.
It's kind of everything. I think you should ask your question.
Yeah,
ask your question.
We were talking about
and Meech, and before he asks this question, I'm just guessing. I think I know. You were a 13th round pick.
14.
Okay, so
now ask your all right. So we were talking beforehand about how picks, like depending on where you get picked, and especially in baseball this happens, but it kind of happens in every sport. But it's like wherever you got picked in the draft is kind of like where they value you. And even if you're a first, second, third round pick and you suck, like you're a complete bust, they're giving that guy opportunity. Like they have to shoot that guy in the foot 1,000 times before they're like, all right, he's washed.
Right.
So one, I should say, why do you think that plays such a big role in baseball? And what's the biggest like overcome that like, because like I feel like for me when I was playing sports, like you play like ECHL AA, guys would get marked like, oh, that guy's just a coast guy, or like this guy's a AAA guy, like he's just a AAA guy, like we're just gonna like that's just where they are.
That's just a silly.
That's just who they are. And it's just like it's and I think that's what they do for picks, right? They think of that guy like for sure he's a 20-round pick, like he's okay, like he if he's you know what I'm saying, like so it's like battling at every corner. And I don't know. I think for me, it's like what's the biggest what's the biggest thing that you think you have to overcome? Like even being a 14th round pick, like even though that would, to me that's a high pick.
That's a high pick.
So it's like how do you overcome that? Even though like there's first rounders that you're probably playing better than that are fucking doing whatever just because they're picked.
Right. So I would say to answer your first question, I think it's simple. Like it's like an investment, right? Like if I'm putting, $3 million into this guy in the first round, and then this guy, you know, I'm paying, you know, $200K to. Yeah. You're probably gonna, have more eyes.
You want that guy,
right? Because you got more money invested in this
exactly.
person. So I think that's like the most simple way I could put it.
And I also think
it's a good way to look at it.
The money's gonna play,
right? Like when you're in it.
I also think it's people's jobs too, right?
For
like
sure.
Someone who's like, oh, that guy's a first round pick. He had him, and he's like, he convinced everyone to pick that guy or whatever. And it's like, now he's pushing that motherfucker like, oh, he's gonna be a stud. Come on, Jimmy. Let's go.
For sure.
Because he wants like he's gonna lose his job. That guy's a bust. It's like, bro, you fucking spend that money.
Right.
And I think that plays a lot into it as well.
Yeah, I think behind the scenes, and I don't, obviously I don't know like for sure, but I think there is some stuff, like sure, behind there, like
it's a business,
right?
They're treating this shit like a business, and that's nothing like. The more I went on, like I said, the longer you go on, you see how business it is. Like it's like what can you do for me today?
Yeah.
And I know baseball's like a little bit more. They're thinking more longevity, but it's like man, it's so much of like what can you do for me today? And if you can't do anything for me.
Right.
See you later.
Right.
I mean, they ain't gonna care much if you can't do anything for me.
Right.
So what? Going back to kind of a second question, what have you done to like kind of overcome not being a top 5 pick? Because like in baseball, like top 5 pick, like that's kind of like the goal. Like you don't need to be a first round pick. If you're a top 5 pick, like that's like massive.
Right.
So like obviously you being 14th, I think that's still really good. When there's 50 rounds, like that's pretty good.
And there's not that many rounds.
No, it's only like 20 now.
Like
20 now.
But yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So still being a 14th round pick, you still got to overcome a lot. Like
right.
Obviously. So like, what have you done to overcome like kind of that narrative?
I would say like what's helped me is just showing up every day and like being the same person. Like I think a lot of it is obviously like performance, but I think also like how you are like around people, like how you are as a teammate. How do you interact with you got to play the game
for
like
sure.
You know what I'm saying, like that's and I think that's one thing that every guy who's going into like the professional ranks, you got to learn like the behind, like as much as much as you may be like naive to it, like you got to know it. You got to learn it because it's a game.
I think that's the best thing you could have said because
it's great advice.
It's like, to be honest with you, the best thing you can do, because I've been in the position of like not playing or like bubble guy. I'm sure you guys have felt the same way or wherever you've been. It's like the best thing you can do is like swallow the pill of like, I'm going to be the best teammate.
Yeah.
And when everyone sees that shit, it's like, bro, everyone starts respecting you. Everyone's like, damn, bro, this guy's like, it doesn't matter. And then it starts being like, wow. Every bounce you get, they're like, bro, I'm going to throw this guy in just because he's fucking going to give it his all. He cares more than everyone. He fucking clearly cares.
Right.
And it's like, there's a lot to that. That's actually great advice. Like, I wasn't thinking about
really
that.
Good. But Meech, appreciate, you coming on, bro. I wish you the best. I believe in you.
Yeah.
I'm always texting you, bro, and telling you I believe in you, bro. I mean, I should keep going. Get your chance. You got to represent for Washtenaw County.
Yeah.
I think
you always do. As you already are.
I mean, who knows? We get it if. Maybe we'll catch a game this summer. Who knows?
We're thinking of doing like a minor league baseball vlog.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing a minor league series because like I got a bunch of buddies that play like, I mean, even in the bigs, like we have a bunch of friends that just are everywhere, and it's like it'd be a kind of a cool series, like go around and like go to a game, catch it, see how it is, like get
that would be hard.
It'd be kind of cool. It's like
it would be different.
Cool. Yeah, it'd be like a different thing, right? And it's like everyone sees like the big, like everyone can look at Patrick Mahomes, like, oh, he's a superstar, but like. Most people that play sports are going to live this life, like that grind life. They're not going to have that superstardom.
99.9%.
Right.
So it's like showing the other side of it is like, bro, you want to play professional sports? Let's peel behind the curtain and see what
this is what actually like.
And everybody likes seeing behind the curtain anyway.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like we're kind of playing into that just at like, it's not the NFL Hard Knocks. It's minor league Hard Knocks.
Right.
If we can get to that, bro, well, we're laughing.
For sure, but appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, bro.
I swear to God, where the ghost. This ain't the story they told. Man, if you know, then you know. I never had to tell my dogs that we on root for greatness. They paper getters, they want money more than they want fame shit. I swear we go so hard, we on A-list. I see my niggas prevailing. We going hard for the hand. We gonna stack till we jaded. I just told my niggas that we on a mission. Yeah. It's gonna be hard to get it. We too on par for the mission.